All right, welcome guys. How you doing, Greg?
Um, I guess I'm fine.
Said you were ready. Said you
I
was
am ready. This is me being ready. Just that's ready.
all right. How was your week, brother? I know we missed last week. Got a little busy on us.
I do. Child is man. I don't.
You getting frazzled?
Okay, hold on. I was about to say something, but I'm not. I'm not sure if I want to say it. So my son has discovered things about himself because he's a teenager now.
Oh, oh, wet
So
dreams.
that happened. And I know this happened because when my ex-wife was describing it,
Did she catch him doing it?
yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah, it's been that kind of a week. My
Oh,
mom told me to tell him that if he plays with it too much, it'll fall off. I would like.
no, he'll take that as a challenge. Like, what? Free transgender surgery? Okay.
Oh God, I thought I had another year before I had to have the sex talk. I wasn't. This is earlier than I anticipated, but that's happening. And then a lot of couple shit with my girlfriend, which is making me happy. I like that we're doing all sorts of things together. Movies, the river, Czechia. I'm happy.
Yeah. Czechia? What's that? Like Czech Republic?
Yeah, but calling it Czech Republic, according to the locals, is like calling the U.S. the United States Federation of America. Our longest official name, and that's why they don't actually call it that outside of their parliament. The locals call it Czechia, so it's Czechia.
So they made it some cute little. That sounds like a phone company.
No, it was always Czechia. It's just the rest of the world fucked that up, and they kind of went along with it until they got sick of it a couple years ago, and their prime minister went on TV and said, "It's Czechia. Whoever told you it was Czech Republic fucking lied to you. It's Czechia."
I don't know, but that's how the world works. You don't get to choose your identifiers. That's what's
What are
going
you
on.
talking about? India's about to change their name. Iran changed their name from
You can
Persia.
change your name, but you're still gonna get rid of. You're still like it's not. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes like decades to change your name.
Istanbul was Constantinople before for 1,000 years before it became Istanbul.
I
So
mean, Germany's still
it,
those guys. It's
it
just
is what it is.
yeah,
We're
it is.
going.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I still get that. Like, fucking, I still got you calling me Rodney and everybody from Florida calling me Rodney, my sister calling me Rodney, and it just throws me off because I don't hear it that often anymore.
What? What do they call you?
I go by my first name. I've gone by my first name since I've moved here.
That's inappropriate. That's highly inappropriate, and you should be ashamed of yourself. How perverted do you have to be to go, hey, I'm Toy. You could use me as a toy.
Hey,
Name's Toy.
how
Don't
about
say it
here?
out loud.
How about here's a history lesson. Toy was a name before it was a descriptor for a fucking child's play toy.
Susan used to be a boy name. Where are you going with this?
I'm just saying, look up the definition of toy.
Oh my God. It's okay. I love you,
Whatever.
Rodney.
Go fuck yourself.
I love you, Rodney.
Go fuck yourself. You with
I
your patronizing tone, go fuck yourself. Because whatever,
love you
I'm
so
still
much.
more of a man with
I
the
love you.
first name of Toy than you'll ever be. Greg,
If you say so.
Gregory.
Gregory is a strong name, I was told. What's really funny is every time I'm at work, it doesn't matter what country they're from. They say it in their language, whether
No,
it's the Poles,
you never
the
expect
Georgians,
anything amazing from a Greg.
St. Gregory.
I don't know who that is. That's a Gregory, not a Greg.
But I am Gregory. I just go
You're
by Greg
Greg.
because you don't know that my name is Gregory.
I know that your name's
Really?
Gregory, but you don't introduce your name yourself as Gregory.
Oh man, I used to have so many aliases.
Yeah, hey, I'm fuckwad, Greg.
God, I need to keep on keeping on. All
Oh,
right. let's get this sta- oh, let's get this started. What do you want to talk about?
No, we haven't started. This is a bullshit podcast. That's
It
what
is
we
a
do.
bullshit podcast. You right about
Bullshit
that.
podcast. We've been talking for 6 minutes about bullshit and just ripping on each other.
I ran into one of our people that listens to us,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, "Yeah, it's nice listening to two people talk about shit all day." And I was like, "You're at the right place, bro. You
Yeah.
came to the right place."
This is a no sense podcast. I don't know.
Oh God.
Like, especially after this weekend, bro. Like, this is it's just a fucking way to clear the mind. So yeah, all right, let's get into it. So this weekend, main reason why we missed it was because of me for once, because I underestimated the workload that voice acting or voiceover job was gonna be. Fucking Greg, oh my gosh. So let's just lay it out. So beginning, it told me it was 33,000 words, and it's gonna take me like 4 hours. I'm like, easy peasy, done. In reality, it took me like 13 hours. Like Sunday, I stayed down here in this cold ass basement from 10 a.m. till 11:30 p.m. Literally 30 minutes before the deadline, I got it turned in. I had to record two-hour long scripts that each had like 900 lines for me to read. And the bullshit was is like none of them were like grouped up in any sensical way. It was a lot of oh sorry, I just had to belch. And then I'm so alone. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this bullshit? You guys are like fucking spinning me like a roulette wheel over here with emotions. Like, fucking group this shit together. Like, if I get a cry going, give me a couple lines. Don't just give me one line and then I gotta be woohoo. It was like that was the hard part. But all in all, it was fun. Like, it's fun sitting here just being able to go through like emotions and shit and just expressions. Click it, boom, money. Money, 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 money. But yeah, so I got done with that. They gave me 4 days. I kind of slacked off the first three. Like, I only did like 2 or 3 hours because I'm like, all right, blah blah blah. I got the first one done, and then Sunday came. I'm like, fuck, I'm cramped because I had to fix the vehicles as well. Like, I still got all four vehicles. No, I still got all five vehicles for sale. So that's not going good. I'm not selling anything. It's not going great. Everybody wants to fucking lowball me. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm giving you a working car that's not gonna blow up on you. It's not leaking on you. The tires are almost brand new. It's like, I want $1,000 for it. It's not a hard ask. I don't know. I guess it's just not the season. People are saving for the holidays or something like that, but it is what it is. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, so I've been doing the voice acting and getting all these vehicles ready and trying to make a baby.
What's car insurance like when you own five cars?
They're not insured. I don't drive them, so why would I insure them?
Okay, that is illegal in Germany. Whether you're driving it or not, the government does not give a fuck. You have to
It
have
has to be
insurance in the
registered.
vehicle.
Do you
You can't
register
have
your
a
trash
car.
cans
You
sitting at the
can't.
end of the block in case somebody hits?
Yeah,
You have
you
insurance
trash
on your trash
can.
cans.
No, but they're registered.
Yeah. The vehicles are registered to me. So if somebody hits them or if they get towed, they can look up the VIN number and
You
pull my name
actually
up.
sometimes have to have the car insurance before even buying the car.
That's Florida.
There's no scenario where you can have a vehicle in your name without there being car insurance. But
Yeah, and that's
okay,
because you live in a condensed population where space is a commodity.
I when you say that, it just boggles my mind. You have five cars and no insurance. That's that could.
Yeah.
Oh, don't do that here.
Well, you only have to insure the ones that you drive on the roads.
Wow.
Because like we
Wow,
have the law, like you don't have to have a license or any bullshit to drive on your own property. It's your fucking property. The government does not control you, or the traffic laws do not extend to your property. You can teach a 7-year old to drive whatever the fuck you want on your property.
that's crazy.
How the fuck do you
That
think they're supposed
is,
to learn?
that's fucking crazy.
It's better
Holy
than throwing them
shit.
out to the public and just like, all right, try it. Like that's how I learned. I learned sitting on my dad's lap, going down the dirt roads and shit. I mean, granted, yes, that's not legal either because we didn't own the road, but that's how I learned how to drive. The key is
Wow.
you don't tell them how to shift until they're like 16.
I don't know what to. I'm trying to process the information you're giving me because I can't. I'm trying. Hold on, give me a second here. So you own cars that you don't have insurance on, and you can let the kids drive as long as it's on your personal property.
Yeah. Like I let
God,
I let the 9-year-old park my van last week,
holy fuck.
but it literally
Okay,
she only moved it 10 feet. It was parked on the street. I told her to back it up into the driveway, and I was sitting in
okay.
the passenger seat.
So you were. Oh my God. Okay,
What are
okay.
you talking
I got it.
about? Do you
Just
think
keep
kids
on.
are these like innocent little powerless things? They're fucking mini humans, dude.
No, I just what I'm thinking of as of like the fear in my heart is like somebody calling the police. I'm just
What are they gonna
scenario
say?
the scenario that I got going on in my head, right? Because Germans will call the police on anything. This is the
Yeah.
snitchiest country in the world, and any of those things that you just did would have like a patrol of police come here and have David taken away from me forever for all of that.
That seems a little absurd. For
Not in this
teaching
country,
for
son.
teaching a school kid how to operate a motor
It's
vehicle.
child abuse, child neglect. There's like three
I think you
felonies
need to
right
look up
there.
your laws, bro. Like look up
I
your
think you should
farmland
never
laws.
do any of that in Germany. Don't
Okay,
ever
are
even
you telling me
consider
that
doing that.
your farmers do not employ their children?
No,
Bullcrap.
no, they want to keep their farm.
Bullshit. Bullshit, bro. Like you're undoing
Okay, first
thousands
off,
of
getting
years
your
of family
okay.
structure. The only reason
First off,
families survive is because they have kids, and then the kids become workers, and then those kids have kids, and those become so you have free fucking labor. That's the only reason farms are fucking profitable is because they don't have to pay a
okay,
fucking labor
wow.
force.
Okay, so maybe this is just a culture scenario, but first things first. To get a driver's license for a normal vehicle costs thousands of dollars in this country.
Okay.
Okay, to get your driver's license costs somewhere around 3 grand now. Okay, and it's a 4 month course that if you fail the first time, you get 2 years before you can take it again. And if you fail it again, you can never have a driver's license
Dude,
and you will
that's
never get your money back.
the
Okay.
closest thing
That's
that I
how
can
serious.
compare that to is like Indiana. Like Indiana, you can be a 45-year-old successful business owner. You can get a DUI and you can lose your license and you have to go take the test again. You have to go take a road test again and you have to sit there with the 16-year-olds. And I'm like, that's fucking absurd. That's you're humiliating me. That's the only thing that's benefiting from this.
Well, Indiana and has German roots in it, so that makes sense. Germans love
Like,
humiliating
but
each other.
but it's a scam, bro. It's a never-ending cycle. That's what my sister is caught up in. She can't drive her vehicle. There's not enough public transportation in play for her to get to places on time on her schedule for her doctors and stuff. She does we're not even including a 9 to 5 job. We're just trying to
Well,
get to doctor's appointments on time.
then that means that the state of Indiana is using that as one of the ways for the state to have revenue.
Keep you into
Um,
poverty as well because
yeah.
it starts with a $10 stop sign ticket. And then you pay that off, but then you got points, and then you get stopped for rolling through a stop sign. Then you get stopped for your child being out of its seat belt because it's a fucking child and it's in the back seat and you're driving and everything and it knows how to unbuckle itself. and bullshit like that. And then you can't afford insurance. So then you get caught with driving without insurance. And then you lose your license. And then you can't afford to get the registration back. But you still have to fucking go make money. Because how are you supposed to pay that fine if you can't go get a fucking job? Because you live in a population where things aren't fucking built around you. They're built around the fucking city hall building that's 50 miles east of you. It's stuff like that. Like my sister was in the situation where she could barely pay for a storage unit to keep her stuff in, but she couldn't pay for the gas to go out there to get to her storage unit, much less the license and the fucking insurance and the registration and all that. And it's just they that's why it's like criminal like traffic laws, they're not laws. Because if you can pay it off, it's not a law. It's a fine. It's a no-no. We don't want you to do it. We can't stop you from doing it, but if we catch you, we're gonna make you pay. And that's the bullshit about it. That's why, like, I understand, like, driving is not a privilege, is not a right. It's a privilege, yes, because we have to pay for these roads. A lot of people don't realize as soon as these roads, like, give it like 5 weeks of the apocalypse and no road crew maintenances, we're only driving cars for maybe a year after the apocalypse because those roads will be so fucking torn up by the end of that year with no maintenance that you couldn't drive more than 25 miles without fucking popping a tire or getting blown off the road because you hit some bullshit in the road. But it's like I don't know where I'm getting at. But
I have a question in regards to your theory about the apocalypse. Because I was given an argument that I'm not sure how to process. Do you think the apocalypse will be in one spot in the world or the
no,
whole world?
it's already happening, bro. It's like a storm cloud that's just shifting over the planet. It's the balance. As long as one country is doing superiorly well, one country will also be that much further away. It's a fucking balance thing, bro. We only have so many resources. When we pull them all to one, it's fucking Armageddon over there. What do you think
Yeah,
Africa's doing? Africa is where we all fucking started. There was a fucking rainforest there. There was fucking all kinds of bullshit. And now it looks like fucking Armageddon.
not everywhere.
Not everywhere.
There's a
The
lot of
vast,
countries that are doing quite well.
yeah, Egypt, all the way at the top.
No, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Ivory Coast.
Yeah, and then we get into semantics. I'm like, how do we define how well they're doing?
I
Like,
was just like the argument I received is that people are always talking about this Armageddon. Just move to Iceland. They're not gonna give a shit
yeah, because
because they don't have anything.
they're already as depressed as if it was the end times.
Then move to Finland, the happiest country in the world, or go to a place that has high elevation like Namibia,
Yeah,
or
okay, but that's not a solution, brother. Because what happens when we all migrate to fucking Finland and there's nobody left in China, nobody left in Germany, and we're all fucking
well, the theory
Japan.
is that we start over, right? If we all have to combust back together and start from scratch, that is the part where we then expand again over time. Maybe it takes 5 or 6 generations. Obviously, there's going to be some wars that are going to happen, but eventually we will spread out again once we feel safe enough to be able to do so. And also, the other thing that I was told, just because it's happening on that side of the world doesn't mean that those same events are going to happen on the other side of the world, right? New
Hmm.
Zealand should be fine for all intents and purposes. Nothing's ever going to actually hurt them. The Pacific Islands, like Fiji, with the exception of maybe global warming, sea rising, nothing's ever going to, the concept of the apocalypse, they don't care. They don't even know what day of the week it is.
Yeah, but the conversation of the apocalypse, it's like I mean, whenever you're actually thinking about it, it's like, what would it actually take to send this world into a down spiral?
Turn off the internet.
Uh, I'd like to think it'd be that easy, but you got to realize what the internet actually is. It's not just like one thing that you can nuke.
But if you turn off the internet where the government can't even do their thing, it's over. Because they're the first thing that any government's going to do is protect itself. They're like an amoeba,
I
man.
don't
They
know,
suck
man.
in
Like,
everything.
okay, it's just hypothetical. Let's say Taylor Swift gets assassinated. I think that that would be enough to like fucking send half of America into a frenzy.
But people are going to profit off of that. So the status quo remains the same.
That's the whole reason that Armageddon is so easy to happen, is because so many people want it to happen.
Then it's not an Armageddon.
What the fuck?
Armageddon is where all hope is lost and nothing can be salvaged and
Yeah,
the
but
world is
we
over.
just got
But
done talking about Armageddon doesn't necessarily have to involve the entire world simultaneously. Like Africa, it's Armageddon in
then
Africa because all the countries surrounding it are just fucking siphoning off of it,
as
relieving them in
long
it.
as people are making money, the definition of or what we think of Armageddon will not happen because nothing is more important than money.
Okay, so then maybe it's just our, maybe just like God, we're just thinking about it and framing it wrong. Armageddon isn't maybe just like Christ returning. Maybe it's not supposed to be a global event. Maybe God,
Well, I know that.
Christ,
I
whatever
mean,
you
the
believe in, is
Japanese aren't
revealing
going to
himself.
care.
What?
Like, for instance, if let's say Jesus does show up tomorrow, Japanese aren't going to care. They don't give a fuck
And
about
that's what
shit
I,
like that. The Mongolians aren't going to care. Asia in general isn't going to, well, except for the Muslim world. They're going to like boost
dude,
their shit.
it didn't even work when Jesus of Nazareth tried it. He couldn't get
Yeah,
everybody to fucking believe him. So it's like, what makes you think that 2,000 years later, doing the same plan is going to have any better results?
I don't. I don't think,
Don't.
honestly, I don't think anything's going to happen except for what's always happened.
It's one big juggling act, man.
We're going to find something else that's more valuable than oil one day, and then we're going to use that to fight over it. Then
And
we're going to
then,
do something else that's more valuable than that, and then we're going to fight over that. And then, God forbid, we end up on something like Mars, like for real, and we put a huge amount of people over there. We're going to fight over that, and it's going to just keep on keeping on. It's who we are.
all right, so let's
It's what we
analyze
do.
this. Okay, so describe to the audience what your vision of an apocalypse is. Like to the bare bones. You don't have to like go
Okay,
extreme.
so
It's like what
I
has
know
to be
I
happening?
know I'm taking this influence from movies because I watch way too many movies.
Yeah,
But
that's how everybody's influenced.
I always thought that the internet was okay. Just for an example, the internet was not working at my job. Okay, I work at McDonald's. The internet was out. Okay, a lady threw a milkshake because the touch screen on the thing to order her food was not working, and she threw her milkshake.
Dude, I've been
Okay,
so fucking tempted to just throw something at McDonald's so bad this last couple weeks, man. Dude, these motherfuckers are almost charging $5 for a McDouble. And I always get my McDoubles no onions because I don't like that fucking rehydrated bullshit that they sprinkle on there. It looks like fucking maggots.
it's actually dry, and you
Yeah.
put it in water, and you leave it in the fridge for a couple hours until it's soaked up, and it
Yes.
looks kind of like onions.
Yeah. But it's like I ask for no onions and then I get a burger with just ketchup and mustard on it. I'm like, motherfuckers, it's only 6 ingredients. And I only asked you to leave out one. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I'm like, these burgers, bro, they're squished, they're flat. I'm like, you guys literally made these patties as small as you can. They're literally the width or the thickness of one fucking beef fiber or whatever. And I'm like, oh.
I
But they
think
got
that's
me in,
called price gouging.
huh?
I think that's called price gouging. No.
I mean, the
What-
burgers have always been fucking small, but it's just like the burger is only the like they you have to put two patties together just to fucking taste something.
Okay, so what I understand, or at least I think I understand about the way things are going now, most corporations are their profits have been stagnating because we've completely gone as far as we can to the concept
Yeah, because
of how much
companies
money
don't
we can really
realize
make
that
in
you
a
have to
quarter.
grow with your buyer. You
Yeah,
can't
but like for
fucking
instance,
outgrow your customer base. Like these people want too much profit. They're getting more profit each year than what we're getting on our paycheck. So they're
so they
always trying to stay above us to where we can barely afford them.
yeah, but that means that they have to do certain things in order to become to their to achieve their expectations.
To
One of those
maintain their
ways
profit.
is to raise the price on the product.
Yes.
Now, I've seen it kind of stop in a weird way. Great, my phone's at 10%. Fuck. Um, the second thing they do is they make less of it for the same price.
Yeah,
Like
they
you'll see a
reduce the
bag,
quantity. Yeah.
like just for instance, a thing of butter,
Yeah.
500 grams,
Yeah.
right?
Everybody
Now
knows what you're
it's
talking
three.
about. Like
Right
even
now,
even Gatorade, they went from 32 ounces to 24 ounces.
but the price stayed the same as it did prior,
Yeah.
right? And then there's another thing that they do, but it's not. I can't think of it. There's like four things that they do in order to keep it going, and they're going to keep doing that until we're just having to pay for air. I guess because I don't see an end in sight. This is it. Nothing is more important than making a profit.
And that's
No
what it
matter
is. I mean,
no matter
that's
how
the
bad people suffer from this, that's all that matters.
yeah, and that's why it's so important for us to fucking pay attention to the laws that we make. Like we're going to Sammy and I after we're done. I got one job today, and then we're going to the library to put our votes in because it's election day today in America.
I know.
And it's just like okay, one proposition or measure, whatever you want to call it, is for recreational marijuana, which yeah, I'm gonna vote yes on that because I'm tired of wasting cops on that bullshit. Like it's been proven that you can smoke weed and not sell cocaine, you know. And it's just like so the other one is property taxes. They want to abolish the property taxes in here and turn it into a state fund. And the problems with that is because North Dakota is so sparsely fucking populated. We have so many towns that have like less than 300 people in them. And we have I mean I don't know the stats, but I'm pretty sure less than half of the state owns their homes. And that's where those property taxes come from, are from people that own their homes, not from people like me that rent, you know. Those property taxes pay for the roads, they pay for the schools, they pay for the improvements, they pay for the traffic lights, the fucking water that goes under the streets and everything. And the situation is like from my understanding, if we do vote yes on it, yes, these individual homeowners won't be taxed, but everybody will be taxed a little bit more. And we have no way of directing it funnily. Like, so if a Bismarck resident, paid, say, $1,000 in property taxes this year for my little dinky place, it's not necessarily that $1,000 is going specifically to my city's funds. It's going to the whole state's fund. So my drop in the bucket is that much smaller. And like the way that people over here are describing them, like this fucking communism. It's communism. It's communism. Why the fuck should I give a fuck about Flasher whenever I live over here? If you don't like living out in the country, then fucking move.
I don't think people understand what communism is. That's not communism. That's just hyperactive capitalism. That has nothing to do with
Yeah.
communism.
Well, no,
Communism is
it's
where the
Democrat
government.
bullshit. It's Democrat bullshit. You want us that are doing well for ourselves to pay for the ones that aren't because they choose to live out there, because they choose to live a simpler life. You want us to subsidize their living. And I'm like, no, I'm not down for that. Even though I don't pay property taxes, when I do get a home, I want my property taxes going to my fucking street. Because
Just
if
make
they
sure when people say that, just tell them like this isn't communism at all because it's not. Nothing about this is communist.
what?
But I can
Instead
see
of
why you don't want to do that because it's more money for something you don't actually own, which is fucked up. Not communism, but hyperactive capitalism,
Yeah, okay. I
hardcore
went off a little on the
capitalism.
rail on that, but it's like it's socialism then. Because you're trying,
No,
well, how is it not socialism? You're taking an
dude,
individual fund and then
what you just described is the very end of capitalism. This is about profit. Socialism and
this isn't
communism isn't
about
about
profit.
profit,
This is about
but
distribution.
it's about the state getting revenue. That's not
No,
communism.
the state's already getting revenue.
Then why are they wanting to abolish make everybody else pay more? They want more money.
Because some
This is
people
about
aren't fucking
money.
paying their taxes.
Nobody wants to pay taxes.
No, that's not fucking true. I like paying taxes when I know what they're fucking paying for. When I know
You
that there's
still
a
haven't
public school
described
in my
anything
area.
remotely close to communism, man. Nothing that you said was communism, like at
Okay,
all.
I corrected it. I said fucking it's more of a socialist start because we're take how is it not socialist?
It's not. It's not. It's not even close. But that's okay.
Defend
It's okay.
yourself. I don't have
Uh,
to defend myself.
Socialism is when we all are trying to pay the exact same tax in the divisions of it. Communism is when the government comes in your house and says, "This is mine. You're going to work for me," and that's the end of it. I'll
Okay.
kill you if you don't.
All right,
And
here's
everything that you
Google's
grow
definition of
is
what
ours, and you
socialism
don't
is.
get to take any of it unless you buy it yourself.
Okay, socialism is an economic and political philosophy encompassing diverse economic and social systems, like property tax, characterized by social ownership of the means of production. That means if I pay you, you're going to work for me, as opposed to a private ownership where, fuck you, I don't have to pay you. It describes the economic, political, and social theories and movements associated with the implement of such systems. I'm saying that it is socialist because you are taking my money that was for my town and now taking it for the whole fucking state that I don't fucking necessarily live in. I mean, I live in the state, but it's like I'm taking care of my city first. If I loved Fargo, I'd move to Fargo. That's where I'm coming at.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
how I'm saying that it's socialist because it's like you want the rest of the state to pick each other up. Where it's like
That is a
I thought that's what
big
income
way
tax
of
is for.
socialism. Socialism isn't that ineffective where I'm from,
I
but
get it
okay.
if it's the main if but see that's why there can't be like one perfect form of government because like people are different and that's the beauty of this fucking world is that we can look to other peoples to solve our problems whenever other people have different situations. It's like I mean, yes, I'm going extreme saying that it's socialist. I'm not comparing it to fucking Red China or whatnot or the Red Army bullshit, but I'm like,
They're not socialists, they're communist. I don't think you understand I don't think you know what socialism actually well, who knows anymore what socialism effectively looks like because looking at France, that doesn't look very good anymore. But then you look at it at Switzerland and you're like, holy shit, look at them go
okay,
hardcore.
so
But they
my stupid idea as of now, just not even going, not even Googling anything. In my mind, I refer to socialism as anything that abolishes private ownership. Okay. I summarize communism as anything that abolishes ownership and gives it to the government. Is that fair to say that the difference
yeah,
between socialism
okay.
and
I
communism is
can
that the government is in control in communism and the people are in control in socialism?
most of the time.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, we're fucking two dumb dogs on this podcast. So we're just
mm,
going on what we are. And most of the time, that's all you fucking have. Nobody has the luxury of having an expert in their fucking corner to argue their shit. But it's like that's
but that's the thing. That's another thing about the United States that will not change unless people change that.
what's that?
Nobody wants to help you. They want your money.
No, that's not true.
There's no other incentive except for them making a profit.
Bullshit.
Every time you go into a DMV, every time you have to do something bureaucratic in the United States, you are constantly misled.
That's what you would think. But whenever you
In the
actually go into those
army, it was the
situations
same,
with
man. People were constantly giving the wrong information out on purpose. because it was in their interest for you to continue down this rabbit hole so that everybody can justify their 8 hours at the in the office.
All right.
It's
I understand you could have had those experiences, but you can't fucking classify an entire country that way because that's not been my experience.
really.
Yes. Dealing with police officers when you're the reason that they have to fucking get out of their car. Yeah. I get that kind of fucking that treatment. We're like, what the fuck, man? I was perfectly fine sitting in my car and then you had to fuck up and now I got to do my fucking job. I get that. But on the reverse side, when I go into the DMV with four vehicles that I just purchased and I ask the lady, "Hey, here's my deal. I bought these vehicles so that I could make a little bit of a profit. What's the best way to go about making sure that I'm legal and not paying over because this is the only way that I know about." And she goes
And she
through,
told you the truth.
yeah, she told me the truth. It's like, okay, so this is how
Crazy.
dealerships get away with not titling their things. You do not have to register the vehicle as long as you do not drive it on North Dakota roads. So if you get it towed to your place, you don't have to register it. I'm like, thank you very much. That makes perfect sense. So I'm registering it for the privilege of driving it on the roads. As long as I don't use the roads, I don't need that privilege. So like that's another situation where like yes, she was a government worker, but she actually cared about my situation because I bothered to be honest to her and not bullshit her. So that's been my experience in America dealing with that stuff. If you don't fucking go in there trying to be a bullshitter, they won't fucking bullshit you because they want to be done with their job and their task just as much as you do.
I didn't have that experience as you did. People always gave me the runaround. People always made me do laps, pay more than the thing that bothered me the most is I always had to pay more than I was initially told. That
Is
was
that
always
is
such a
that
big
is that
fuck
on
you.
them or is that lack of fucking focus, lack of paying attention, lack of being on top of your bullshit? Because Greg, I remember when you were in America, you weren't the most responsible person.
Sure. But I always had my dad on the side. And he always had this like, why the fuck didn't they say this? Why the fuck is this online, but this isn't on the paper that they gave us? Why the fuck this, that, and the other?
I don't know, brother. My
And
my
it was
my
the same
experience
with
in
the
life is that
passport. There
if
are
you
things
don't
that I need to renew my US passport that are not online. There are specific things that I need that they don't have the information that they're not willing to give me. I have to go find it from a completely different source. Which source is this, you might ask? Oh, that's not our department. What do you mean it's not your department? How the fuck do I renew my passport?
and you're saying you don't have those problems in Germany?
No, I'm saying that there's a long list of things
Yeah,
that
it's
they do.
called
It's a different pain
bureaucracy.
in the ass. It is a completely different pain in the ass when it comes to the German paperwork. But
Okay.
even overseas, when I try to do my American paperwork, I always have to do something that is not on the list. Or the list is completely wrong because it's a different department and they don't do any of that. And they don't know why I have this in the first place.
I don't know. My biggest frustration is whenever I get the 90-day warning fucking 88 days before or like 80 like after 88 days. Like that fucking pissed me off whenever I got a ticket for driving Cassandra's car and we got in an accident and I was driving and I failed to provide the officer with my information because I didn't know. I'm like, it's not my car. She's in the fucking car. You asked for her information, not my information.
Well,
Oh, the police.
that sounds like somebody
Okay, so yeah, my only problem with like as far as like getting letters in the mail from the government is everything. It's like, yeah, the mail takes too long, and you guys only gave me like 10 days to respond, but it took 4 days for it to get to me. Why the fuck aren't you emailing me yet?
Yeah, I don't understand why the government. No, I
And
do.
like now I gotta make an appointment to go to the DOT. I can't just go in there and fucking sit for an hour like you used to. No, that fucking takes 4 hours now. Now you gotta make an appointment 3 or 4 days ahead of time. That's what's been pissing me off. It's because like I think I got an appointment either this morning or tomorrow to go swap the vehicles so that Sam can have tags on hers. Um, but yeah. Oh yeah, it is today.
Okay, so you got shit to do after this as well.
Yeah, in an hour. Let me text Sammy about that. But yeah, All right, tell a story.
Tell a story. Um, I'm looking forward to my first stand-up comedy appearance. I can't wait to do that. That's
What?
it's actually this podcast that gave me the push that I'm really gonna give this a go and see if I can't either make somebody laugh or deeply offend them. Both are things I would consider an accomplishment.
Awesome,
That's what I
brother.
hope. I
Dude.
don't think I'm the stand up comedy because I don't have jokes. I just have super
Fuck that
fucked up
shit. Fuck that shit,
stories.
bro. It's a fucking art form. You don't go in it trying to be like somebody
Yeah, but
else.
that's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't have jokes. I just have really fucked up stories that
Good
every
crowd
time
work,
I
yeah.
tell them, people laugh their fucking ass off. Like one of the things I'm going to talk about is the first time I took. Well, it wasn't the first time, but like on David's birthday a couple of years back, when we went to the indoor swimming pool, we got the pass to have access to the entire swimming pool. Right,
Mm-hmm.
not just the main part, but also to like the sauna, the big ass slides in the back, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And when we eventually went back there, I forgot because it's not something I do on a normal basis, but I forgot that that is a newt section back there as I'm taking my then 6 year old back there. And it's exactly what you think it is. We clicked it, we'll go around the corner, boobies, boobies, dick, dick. And as I'm reading, a lot of things happen in my head at the same time. One, I did not check with his mom if this was okay, that I could do this. So a part of me inside is panicking as I see my son doing that. Oh, 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 just staring at everybody. So I try to be the cool dad in that moment. I with a calm, low voice, I'm like, David, be cool. Don't stare at anybody. We're naked too. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Don't look at nobody. Everybody's here to have the same thing. And he goes, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. So we sit down in the sauna and he blurts it out. He's like, wow, boobies. And they were good boobies, man. But I couldn't say that in that moment, man. I couldn't say that. Cause go what? And thank God she didn't hear it because I didn't know what I was supposed to do at that moment. And there was fear in my heart. Like, oh my God, stop it, David. Stop it. So eventually we go around the corner where they have like the cafeteria sort of thing where you grab a tray and you grab food and all these old guys and this one guy with an elephant trunk. Good for him. Oh my God. There was just like this guy in his mid 50s and it was almost down to his knees, man. I couldn't believe it. I was like, good for you. You've been blessed in life.
Oh shit.
And we sit down and we're eating, and David won't stop staring at every dick and boobies that are walking by. So again, I try to I'm like, David, look at me, focus, focus, focus. We can never tell anybody about today.
And then you're
And he
on a
goes,
fucking
why?
podcast.
Everybody's naked. We're naked. It's fine. And I go, okay. Now, what happens when you tell your mom that you've seen 100 penises today of all ages? What do you think her reaction's going to be? And I saw it in his eyes, man. It went like this because his face went, we can never tell her. We can never, never tell her. And it's the only secret he has been able to keep his entire fucking life. That once, I'm so proud of him, man. I'm so proud of him. And we had a good day.
Were
We were
you guys are
chilling.
you guys exchanging fucking smirks?
Dude, I was too worried about the repercussions of the scenario that I had unintentionally put everybody in. And I spent a lot of time being paranoid about that. Even days after that, I was like, did he tell her? Every time my ex called me, I was like, is this the day? And did it finally happen? Did he accidentally spell? And I'm like, hello? And then she would be saying, oh, yeah, when are you coming over to pick up your son? I'm like, oh, thank God. Oh,
Yeah.
thank God.
See, and that's
Oh,
why people get caught all the fucking time because you're your own fucking tattletale.
oh, God. He
That's
can't
fucking
keep a
hilarious.
secret, but that one he kept. That one he
Dude.
kept. I'm so proud of him.
All right, I got a story for about my kids. Fucking so I almost drugged the 3 year the 2 year old.
You almost drugged the 2 year old.
Yeah, she was being a little bipolar little shit. Like as
Okay.
soon as she fucking woke up, man, like it's two steps forward, one step back. It's like, do you want some juice? No. Do you want some TV? No. Do you want some juice? Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? And then she's just being ungratefully rude. Like she bit her sister, and like I had to make her stand in the corner for 15 minutes because I'm like, I can't fucking spank you because she kind of deserved that bite. And I made her stand in the corner. Well, because she's fucking 9 years old and she's sitting there fucking treating her sister like she's a fucking play toy. I'm like, yeah, she fucking bit you because she didn't want you fucking touching her. And then and she will not apologize to her sister. She will not know it. I don't care who wants to argue me. This girl knew what we wanted her to do, and she was fucking abstinently fucking refusing to do it. And yeah, and I'm just like, what? And the next day it was no better. She didn't want to give me a hug. She didn't want to do shit. She just being a fucking ungrateful little shit laying on a fucking bed of leaves like fucking you don't have to do anything for your life. Why the fuck are you treating me like this? And I'm just like, I had the idea. I'm like, we got back from Montana and Sammy had bought in like 2 bags of gummies. Like they're just tens, the normal shit. Gummies don't affect me. Like edibles have only really affected me twice. Like the first time I ever took one with Cody in Washington, I took a candy bar and that like it just made me feel light. I wasn't
Okay.
high or anything. I was just giggly, you know? I wasn't impaired or anything. And then the second time was when my boss gave me some fucking trail bar or something that was like
Okay.
really just glued together with dabs. It was like some fucking oats and some peanuts and shit just glued together with dabs. And that fucking nearly put me into a coma. But I'm just like, what's the worst that could happen? Like, cause like I'm sitting here, I'm like, all right, so the 9-year-old, she reacts positively to caffeine. It calms her down. It doesn't fucking make her worse. But the 3-year-old, it does. It makes her hyped up. So we give her some caffeine whenever she's being a little shit, just to perk her up. But I'm like, I think it'd be fine. I think it'd be fine. What if I just gave her half a
Oh
gummy?
no.
Like 5 milligrams. Like, what's the worst that can happen? There's no chance of her overdosing. What's the worst that could happen? What, she vomits?
Well, what was it?
I didn't fucking drug her, dude. God damn.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
I was
Oh
really close. Like, I
God.
thought about it like 3 different times. I'm like, no, she's not that bad. But I was just like, no. It was one of those situations where you're like, I wonder if I could get my dog high. So you like just blow some smoke in its ear. I'm just like leave a half a gummy out because they just went from Halloween trick or treating. So I just throw that in the bag. It's like maybe they'll take a chill pill.
Okay.
But no, for the viewers, I did not give an underage person access to marijuana products.
Well, we're all very proud of you, Rodney. That was a very mature decision in the end.
But no, the mother wants to try CBD though. I'm like, man, I don't believe in that fucking horse shit. Like I've been smoking weed forever, and I know the CBD never did anything for me.
My ex-girlfriend, you remember her, she told me that when she smoked the CBD, she didn't have a single thought process. And that was very bizarre for her at the time.
Mm,
That she did not think, she just didn't have any thoughts. And that she couldn't believe that that's something that could happen to her.
mm.
Speaking of my ex-girlfriend, I can't believe there's a fucked up story there as well.
All right.
And you're a part of it.
Mm.
You're a part of that fucked up story.
Oh, what is she? Listen to the podcast?
Oh, yeah, she does. But since we're here talking about, this is one of those things that, like I was telling you, I want to try stand-up comedy.
Uh-huh.
This is one of those stories that is definitely funny, but I don't know how to make it funny. So maybe you could help me out real quick with this.
Okay.
So she was mad at me because we were hanging out with that meth addict.
Oh yeah, what's her name? Yeah.
Yeah, she was super mad about it because we were hanging out. And
She
I
had a
said, listen,
wonderful way
listen.
of showing it.
Oh, she was mad for days about that. And she kept interrogating me for the long time because you remember what happened. I woke up to you telling me that the winds blew away our weed, which led to a series of events that I had no control over. whatsoever. And when I told her the reason why we called her is because the wind blew our weed away, she obviously didn't believe that shit because that's fucked up.
What, she couldn't believe us that we were that poor that we had such a small amount of marijuana that could be blown
Dude,
away by
maybe
a
it's the
gust of
way I
wind.
say things. Maybe it was just that ridiculous, but I remember I'm like, listen, listen, you weren't there. He woke me up. He said the wind blew the weed away. He asked me if we could call somebody. I did. And she's like, wait a minute. The wind blew your weed away?
This just
What?
reminds me of like Ron White whenever he got pulled over or he got arrested coming off of his plane. It's like, yes, we realized we found an an eighth of a gram of marijuana, and he's like, I don't know about you, but when I have an eighth of a gram of marijuana, I consider myself to be out of marijuana.
Okay, maybe it is a funny story. Maybe I just say it like that
Hmm.
and it'll work out. Maybe somebody will laugh, but that's
Well,
a
your
funny
neighbors
story.
definitely believed us.
Oh,
Oh,
dude,
I was so
after
worried
you
about their
left,
dog eating it.
yeah, well, after you left, days later, they cornered me and they said, "Please don't ever go in our yard unannounced like that ever again." And I was trying to, I didn't know how to explain the seriousness of it without a variety of things that could go horribly wrong in that conversation.
But
So
yes,
all I did
this
was,
was what I was trying to avoid from the beginning.
oh man, dude, I'm never gonna forget that shit as long as I live.
Well,
Oh, I still feel stupid about that.
yeah, yeah.
Oh my
That was fucking
god.
hilarious, though. Only
Okay, so
when we
that's
were together.
two. That's two good stories. That's 5 minutes right there
Dude, no,
of shit
man.
that I could talk about.
Fucking I'm ecstatic, bro. Like you should definitely fucking do it, man. That's
But this
something
is
new.
Germany, man. I
I don't
think
give a
I'm
fuck.
gonna.
I don't give a fuck. Germans are funny. You just have to fucking know your crowd. Your jokes have to make
Who
sense.
told you that Germans are funny?
I listen to fucking German. I just started a German comedy last night called Mindful Murder on Netflix. It's pretty funny. I mean, it's not
Okay.
like slapstick funny. You like it's like 5 to 10 minutes in between each laugh, but it's still funny. Like this dude's a lawyer and he works for a mob boss and he just got divorced and
Oh
everything.
yeah,
And it's finally
that
his turn
show.
to take his daughter on a weekend trip, and then his mob boss did the most ridiculous thing and got caught murdering somebody from a bus full of kids with phones. And then he just
Okay,
leaves the dude in the trunk and fucking kills him
I'll
while he
watch
has a
it.
great weekend with his daughter.
You convinced me. I'll watch it. I'll see what all the hullabaloo is about.
Yeah. Yeah, it took me a
Uh,
while at first because like it automatically put it in English and then the lips weren't matching up and I'm like, oh, it's fucking German, okay. And then I switched to German. And I'm like, fuck, they're speaking too fast. I can't fucking hear like just reading the captions was too fast. But I was a good movie. It was a good show. I watched 2 episodes last night. I'll probably watch some more tonight. But yeah, that was Mindful Murder on Netflix. Well, I only
I'll
got
look at
Netflix
it.
for a couple of days.
I've been watching Ghost instead right now because I think
So
that shit's
I
hilarious.
don't know, bro. There was this one movie clip. Like that's what I hate about YouTube shorts and these clips whenever like people just put clippets of movies on there and you can literally watch fucking a movie in its entirety from the clips on YouTube and shit. But you just gotta like there's a lot of shit in between. Like I watched this one movie where this fucking just disgustingly like ragged man, clearly like mentally disturbed, is just fishing in a lake and then this it's like the whole thing is like suspenseful, like don't fuck with this dude, man, he's gonna murder you. And then this game warden comes to check his shit and he's like, do you have a fishing license? And he's like, I wasn't catching nothing, I was letting them back and bullshit. He's like, if you like your life you'd better leave that bag alone. I'm like, fuck, I want to know what movie this is.
Because they never put the title of the movie. You
Well, and then
have
you
to
go in the
remember the
comments,
actor's name and then like
you
go
don't know
down
that.
this week.
That's it must have been an independent film because that shit wouldn't have been mainstream. It was so fucking dark. Just the weight of the intensity was just fucking. I'm like, fuck, I want to see this movie. But yeah, but no, I'm really happy for you, bro. Like I think I put that fucking seed in your head like last year or something. Like I think you should fucking go out and do something, bro. Bloom, show your flowers.
Okay, if that's how you see it.
I don't know, bro. I
But
think it'd be fun.
we do need to call a day on this episode now.
We got
I
3 minutes.
got I okay, well I got dinner reservations in a different country, so I gotta get
Mm.
myself prepared for that.
Okay, so my recommendation for this episode, I do have a movie that you should watch, is The Whale with Brendan Fraser. You remember him? The guy
Yeah,
from The Mummy and Monkey
yeah.
Bone and shit. Like,
Where he's really fat.
yeah, like all I heard about the movie going in was that it was his comeback. Like he's finally back into acting and everything. And I'm like, awesome. Now, the movie itself is really sad. It's really fucking sad, especially if you have somebody in your life that treats their life like that. But the best thing about the movie that I loved is that I forgot that it was Brandon Fraser. Like his acting was so good that I forgot that that was fucking Monkey Bone. I forgot that that was a fucking Indiana Jones fucking mummy bullshit, dude. Like he owned that role. And I'm like, that's what just sucked me into the movie. I'm like, all right, this doesn't look like Brandon Fraser. I mean, like how do you even pull that off being a fucking 600-pound person right after coming off of like a 10, 12 year fucking hiatus?
He is a world class actor.
He fucking got me. Like I was in that shit. He fucking had me paying attention to everything. Like I'm like, and just I didn't find a flaw in the movie, the way he moved, the way he fucking always apologizing. Like it was sad. It's definitely sad. I wouldn't recommend you letting David see it, but it's I don't know. It's a good movie. It definitely make you cry.
Okay, then I will definitely watch it.
Very, very good acting in it. So we'll leave it on that. Thank you guys for listening. We will be back
Next time,
whenever
remind me of a fucked up story that I can say on stage, okay?
okay. Well, we will be back whenever the fuck we're back because we can't keep a schedule. But
It
love
is
you
what it
guys.
is.
Thank you for listening.
Bye.
See you next
Love.
time. Bye bye. All right, guys. Thank you for enjoying another episode of Two Dumb Dogs. Well, at least I hope you enjoyed it. If you made it this far, I'm sure you did. Or if you got something to say, leave it down in the comments. Greg and I really appreciate the listenership that's going on, and being able to do this project just means a lot to us. A lot of people say we couldn't do this without you. I'm not gonna shit you. This is not the fact, because we are definitely doing this without you, and we will still be here when you're gone. But while you're here, thank you for sticking around, and we hope to hear from you in the comments or drop us a message. You can reach us at Spotify at / Two Dumb Dogs Podcast, or you can find us on YouTube as well as Two Dumb Dog Podcast. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you on the next installment.
Damn my dog, 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 damn my